The effort to expand the Turnpike Loop around Oklahoma City south and west through the Moore and Norman areas is a contentious issue. Easing traffic on I-35, faster commutes, and safer highways run up against concerns about water quality, the preservation of wildlife, property rights, and even the rare rose rock. But for some, it's personal. In part one of this two-part story, State Impact's Beth Wallis has this audio narrative of Lisa Meyer. Her home is near the proposed Southern Extension route. It's not just a house. Her husband built it to accommodate their late son, who lived with disabilities until his death in 2008. Lisa is also active in the newly formed Turnpike opposition group, Pike Off OTA.
It was 2000. My son was 7, and we lived in an older house. We said we got to have more room. He was handicapped. Nothing was accessible in the house, so we didn't have very much money. So we sold our house, and we built a sheet metal barn that my husband built it by hand. It's all handicap accessible for my son. And so it was something we talked about, when we get older, then it would be something that we could live in for the rest of our lives. We got married when I was 28. My husband's 25. We waited to have children for 3 years, and we were ready for the pitter-patter of little feet. Didn't work out that way. We didn't quite know what was wrong. We knew something was wrong, but they were never able to diagnose him. Either he had multiple syndromes or he had something so rare that they never identified it. He had multiple seizures every day. He had what we called cyanotic spells. He would just quit breathing, and we didn't know why. His life was extremely hard. The last year of his life was excruciating, very painful. I miss him desperately, but I don't miss the pain. His pain was unbelievable. I just miss him. I miss the touch of his skin. I miss rubbing his head. I just miss him. We took him to the hospital. They did an x-ray, and he was totally consumed. And so we had to make the decision to put him on a ventilator. Me and my husband were the only ones there when he passed. And then he shut his eyes, and so I held him, and I felt his heart quit beating, and he was gone. And there was one little nook that was where his bed laid, and he was in bed quite a bit, and that's where my office is now. My desk sits where he used to lay all the time. Your children are part of you. That's why I sit where I do. And I spend a lot of time in my office working. So my husband, he's the road foreman for Cleveland County, District 2. He sent me a picture, and he said, look, if it swings a little to the west, it's going to wipe a lot of houses out, including ours, or we're going to be right there at the edge of a turnpike. So when they talk about destroying our house, that's destroying our lives, and it's taking away the memory and the work that my husband's done to accommodate a child that we lost 14 years ago. And the thought of somebody tearing it down where I can't sit where I sit. That home is sacred to me and to my husband and to my daughter. Don't make me leave. I cannot replace where I sit every day at my desk and work and feel the presence of my son. We decided to bury him close to home, and I know he's not there. But the body that I took care of, that I brought in this world, is there and still there. And he's with me when I sit in that office where his bed used to lay. And that's why we decided to put him close. If I don't lose my house, I'm going to have to cross a toll road to go to the cemetery.
So, and here's my boy. My chains are gone. I've been set free. My God, my Savior, has ransomed me. And like a flood, his mercy reigns. Unending love, amazing grace.
He profoundly changed me and changed me to be the person I am today, to be the fighter. I've always been kind of a fighter, but he is the person that taught me that I was an advocate. Getting to know all these people through Pike Off has been an amazing thing because we all have a reason, we all have a purpose. And I do believe that our group will be victorious in the end. But if we're not, I can say, and I can go to my son's grave, and I can say, I did everything. He knew me as a fighter. I was a fierce advocate for my son. And that's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm being the fierce advocate of my family.